It's December, but it's Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. You know what that means? That must mean it's time to get some miles in. I do have the nice Christmas socks, though. Shout out to St. Nick and all of his associates, the elves, the reindeer, everyone out there baking cookies at this time of year. Look at these socks. Bada boom, bada bang. These aren't even features. They're OS first. It's a great time of year. There's frost on the fescue here in the Carolinas. We can run sub 6 minute paces without losing 2 liters of fluid. What a time. What a time. And also, you know what this time of year means? Sales. But not what you might think. It's not holiday sales and Black Friday sales. Brands are getting ready to turn over their entire lineup from the top to the bottom. For example, ASICS, they release the Nimbus every year in January. Saucony releases the Ride top of the year and the Guide. So we have lots of great deals from last year and additional discounts for Supwell members. You guys already know we have the Running Warehouse discount code. So today, I'm going to go get my miles in the gel Nimbus. One of my low-key favorite daily trainers of the year. I was late to this. I did not get it at the top of the year. I waited all the way till October to try it, and I regret it because I really love this thing, and I wish I could have logged hundreds of miles in it before the 27 is coming out. 27 is coming out next month, but we're going to get some more miles in this thing. Awesome shoe, and I'll go through 10 of the other best shoes under $110. I used to do under $100, but guess what? Shoeflation is here. Shoeflation is here. This guy's always been $160. Ever since I've been reviewing shoes, Nimbus 25 was $160, Nimbus 26 is $160, and now Nimbus 27 is $165. So there's no more under $100 deals. Well, there are, but today we're going under $110 because shoeflation is here. All right, I'm going to go run. I'll be back later with the list. All right, man, 10 miles in the Nimbus. I almost said Nimbus Mirai, but this is just the standard Nimbus. Our friend Clucky McCluckface out here putting in work, destroying the lawn care. It's all good, bro. Do your thing. Do your thing. I'm not even gonna get mad at it anymore. I'm just gonna get motivated to start eating chicken nuggets again. We got 10 miles and 1,200, 6:44 pace. Nice aerobic mileage. And I don't train by heart rate, I train by feel. And that effort, man, that 6:44 effort is the same effort that I was doing earlier this year. Beginning of the year, that was a 7:44 effort or a 7:30 effort. And a common question is, how do I make my easy pace faster, right? Or what I would call relaxed pace. How do I keep my heart rate lower running faster? Mileage, dude. Bro, sis, mileage. A lot of relaxed miles, 1 or 2 days of intensity and consistency over time. That's how you do it. There's no secret. But Nimbus here, dude, this thing is so good. It's just a solid, comfortable shoe. It will last you however many miles you need it to. And a bit on the colder side this morning. I think it's in the 30s, maybe high 20s, no, low 30s probably. And I can feel it firming up. But if you want a winter workhorse, this is not going to firm up too much in the cold, especially if you're a bigger runner. I absolutely love how they tuned this. It's in that Skyflow camp, that Supernova Prima camp, that sturdy, solid, do-it-all shoe. And especially if you land more on the heel, it's a really comfortable ride with this gel unit. I also love this Paris colorway. My friend Jeff Hardy keeps saying I only think the shoe is a banger because the colorway. And I'm not going to lie, the colorway does give it plus 1 point. So if it's a 7 by itself, then it's an 8 with this colorway. And they do still have this colorway on sale at Running Warehouse. So this is an awesome shoe if you want a comfortable, supportive daily trainer that can pick up the pace. But that's going to be great for a lot of relaxed miles, not going to bottom out at all, and good for time on feet. Also, grip on this is solid. It does have the ASICS grip, not the AHAR Plus. Well, it does have a tiny bit of the AHAR Plus on the back here, but the hybrid ASICS grip is most of it, which is what is on the Super Blast, or similar to what's on the Super Blast, and decent in the wet. So shout out Nimbus 26, Nimbus 27 coming soon. You can get this for $107 with our Supwell discount code on the app, or slightly above 110 at Running Warehouse without it. I'm sure you can also find it on Amazon, probably for discount as well. But this is the first one, ASICS Nimbus 26. I'm going to shower, have some meetings, and then we can bang out the rest of this list. What's up, dude? What up, dude? What's up, dude? Shout out to everyone putting in work on the Friday Kicks thread. I have to snap my pic real quick for the Friday Kicks thread on the Supwell app. Bada boom, bada bang. Look at that crispy Nimbus 26 for the breakdown. Of course, you already know. I'm in that murdered out hobby jogger fit. Murder it out for the days when it was dark. Alright, 10 best deals. We already got the Nimbus out of the way. I have my list and everything. I don't know, there's not a specific order. This is the order in which I researched them. So we're just gonna go scatter shot here. Let's start it off with a banger. Let's start it off with a banger of a deal. I guess not start it off. This is the second deal here, but Puma Forever Run Nitro Knit. So this is a shoe that's very similar to the ASICS Gel Nimbus 26. This is kind of offset. Bang, there we go. Very similar to the ASICS Gel Nimbus 26 is that it's on the firmer side of not too soft, not too firm, but the bounce is great. And the kicker here is that Dick's is selling this for $65. Lots of cushion, lots of support, lots of comfort, and because it's a Puma, it comes with an amazing outsole that will be great for the winter. So $65 for a banger of a daily trainer. I did a 12-mile double day in this earlier this week, and it was great. I was actually just coming off of that 50K, and it's really bouncy. It's almost Super Blast levels of bouncy, and there is some race foam in here, very similar to the Mag Max. I call this the Baby Mag Max or Baby Magma. So if you're looking for that winter workhorse, this will be great. They do have it in other colors on Dick's. They have it in an all black. That's a true murdered out vibe. They have this on a black on black colorway on Dick's for $65, which is just crazy. So I highly recommend this. Great for the treadmill as well. Great for any winter running. An all around comfortable shoe. I also think it just looks pretty good. Looks solid. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. So next up here, bada boom, bada bang, one of the top daily trainers of the year. And this is the great thing. This is what I was telling you guys about when the next year model version comes out. Like the ASICS Nova Blast 5, which I've been loving. Last year's shoe, which most of the time is also great, and I'm stepping in the mud. Now I'm stepping in the mud with my crispy Nimbys on. That's not good. That's why I usually wear the slides, because I don't have to worry.
But last year's model version gets discounted down to dang near $100. So I think you can get this for, let me check my notes here so I give you the exact figure. I don't want to be given incorrect information. So you can get the ASICS Nova Blast 4 for $99 with the Supwell app code. So when you sign up for the Supwell app, at the top of the deals and discounts channel, there's a code that gets you 20% off of all apparel on Running Warehouse and 10% off of all clearance shoes. Actually, not all clearance shoes. Some things like current model version Hokas. So for example, they discount the Clifton sometimes and that doesn't work, but mostly everything else it works. It worked on the SC Trainer V3 when they had that discounted. It'll get you 10% off. So I think they cut this down to $110 or $115, but with our code, it brings it down to $99. So this is a complete tank. Super comfortable, nice pop off the forefoot. It's not the bounciest compared to Saucony Endorphin Speed 3 or Hoka Mach 6 or even the current version Nova Blast 5, and that's why they swung the Nova Blast 5 back in the other direction. But if you're looking for comfort for time on feet, if you're a bigger runner, also if you want some stability, this is a great long run shoe. Now the traction isn't good, and the traction on the Nova Blast 5 isn't good, and there was actually a discussion on the Supwell app about, are people just exaggerating about the bad traction on the Nova Blast 5? Now, I personally have never slipped and fallen on the roads from running with bad traction in a shoe like this, but it just makes it more annoying and distracting. When you're running in a shoe with poor traction in the rain, you have to think a lot about more how you're running, and especially if you're planning to do any serious marathon pace training or pace pickup at all, and you live in a very wet area, then I would just go for something else. Like Puma Forever Run Nitro Knit, for example, at $65. That traction is going to be way better than this if wet weather performance is a concern. But if you want a shoe purely for time on feet, this is a great pick at $99. Just a few months ago, it still is landing on everyone's year-end list of best daily trainers, right? This is a complete banger of a shoe. I ran a 23-mile long run in this. It's a great 4-hour marathon shoe, and you can now get it for $99. I love it. That's the great thing. That's the positive about the treadmill cycle of brands refreshing their lineups year after year, is that you can then get awesome deals. All right, next up here. This is a funny one. Saucony Surge 3. Bada boom, bada bang. This thing it was $60. It was $60 when I highlighted it just 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I made the video, is this $60 max cushion shoe a banger? And it was a banger. It's comfortable, it's cushioned, it has some bounce, it's on the heavier side, but a very protective shoe. Similar to a Gel Nimbus, but even more robust than that, and the bounce was really good. A very comfortable shoe. A bunch of people have bought it after that. I posted that deal video and said it was awesome. Thing is, Saucony raised the price. I wonder if it's because so many people were buying it and nobody was buying it before. They raised the price now to $75. You can no longer get that $60 deal, which I think is hilarious, but it's still under the $110 threshold. And you can see out of the gates here, there still is some sub $100 deals on the market. You have the Forever Run Nitro Knit and you have the Saucony Surge 3. So if you're looking for a max cushion gang shoe and you don't want to break the bank, $75 here. Somebody asked me to compare the Nitro Knit because they're both very affordable, $65 versus $75. Compare these two. Nitro Knit is more of a daily trainer. If I had to pick one of these to run fast in, I would pick the Nitro Knit. If I had to pick one of these for long runs, I'd pick the Nitro Knit. Anything with race pace, Nitro Knit. But if I just wanted a purely comfortable cruising experience, I would go for the Surge 3. I did feel that the Nitro Knit, the Baby Mag Max, was encouraging me to pick up the pace a bit. So the Surge 3 is not going to do that. You can cruise at any relaxed pace in the Surge. All right, next up here, bada boom, bada bang. Look at these first 3 that we highlighted, all below $100. Next one is below $100 as well. We have the Adidas Supernova Rise, a super underrated shoe, by the way, and they just updated this, the Supernova Rise 2. It's purely an upper update, and it's funny because there is literally nothing wrong with this update. This upper, I really enjoyed the upper on the Supernova Rise 1. It's comfortable, there's a really padded tongue, nice and cushioned. It's the perfect comfort daily trainer upper. So I don't know what they're revising in the Supernova Rise 2 upper that would have made it any better, because this upper was already perfect for a comfortable daily trainer. But that's exactly what this thing is. It's a comfort-oriented everyday shoe. It's not going to be a shoe for picking up the pace. You have a fairly flexible forefoot here. You have this gray piece. It's actually EVA, so ethylene vinyl acetate. It's a firmer foam providing some stability and support in the back. And then they have these gray support rods. And I actually learned these gray support rods in the Supernova series of shoes are supposed to mimic the tendons of your feet, whereas in the energy rods in the Audi Zero shoes are supposed to mimic the bones of your feet. Now, that's a lot of marketing shenanigans, but it's still kind of cool fun fact to know. It's, if we had hobby jogger trivia, maybe we'd have a question about that. But core foam here in this green is Dream Strike Plus. You see what they did there, Light Strike Pro versus Dream Strike Plus. It's a nice foam. It's just a nice training foam. It's a great foam to run miles in. This is also a great treadmill shoe, and especially this one, and I did put the Prima on my treadmill list, but if you want something lower to the ground, this would be great, because I don't always like Super Max Stack, and matter of fact, I don't like at all Super Max Stack on the treadmill. So this is a nice pick, and it's coming in at $89 with our discount code on Running Warehouse, which is great. I think they have all the size availability, and again, the V2 is just an upper update on an already good upper, so save some money and get this. All right, next up here, we got some good deals. The Nimbus already had, all right, 1080 V13 at $107. Man, this is a case where, and it's crazy because I first started putting this on the deal list in August or September, and there's still inventory. I'm wondering if people, I don't know, why are people not buying this shoe? So $107 for one of my favorite shoes. This might be a 5 favorite shoe of all time for me. If I had to make a top 5 list, this would probably be on it. It's comfortable, it's very soft, but it does not bottom out. And I completely fell in love with this thing for recovery style running. When I started smashing a lot of 100-mile weeks, this was a staple. And there's this whole framework of zone 2 and people running with their heart rates in a lower area. I don't train by heart rate, but having a shoe like this will encourage you to run more relaxed because it's not going to goad you into picking up the pace. If you're using a shoe like the Saucony Endorphin or the Adidas Boston 12 or even the Super Blast to a lesser extent as your daily trainer, you're going to be encouraged to run faster. Meanwhile, if you use a shoe like the New Balance, this is just cozy vibes. This is hobby jogger Christmas with a cup of hot cocoa by a freshly trimmed tree vibes. It's a cushion banger. So if you want to get soft and cozy this winter, New Balance 1080, you can try to pick up the pace in it, but that is not what this thing is about whatsoever. It's about relaxing, getting time on feet, building that aerobic base. So if you are looking to stack some miles this winter, this is probably the best shoe out of any of these for just getting out there and stacking miles, not worrying about pace. New Balance 1080 V13, supple certified banger. By the way, I put 300 miles on this shoe. 300. I don't do that anymore because I test a lot of shoes. So if I get up to 100, that means I really like a shoe. But 300 on this thing, and look at that. Outsole's in decent shape, traction is good, the foam isn't too compressed down. So really durable shoe as well, which is surprising, especially surprising given the soft comfort we have here. So next up, let's go another old all-time favorite that I have a lot of miles on, Nike Vomero 17. Not 300, but 200 miles on this. I got this about a year ago, and another grinder. This is a grind style shoe. Reminds me of the Baby Mag Max here. These are the types of shoes where you just want to grit it out, man. Shout out to my guy Arthur Lydiard, R.I.P. Lydiard, legend in the game. He's who put me on to, bro, you got to run a lot of miles. If you don't know who Lydiard is, check him out. He's one of the most legendary running coaches ever. He pioneered high mileage when a lot of boys had this low mileage mindset trying to show up for an 800-meter race on 10-mile-a-week legs. And he trained a lot of his athletes to say, nah, bro, let's get up to 160 kilometers. Let's get up to 100 miles a week. And they started shredding everybody. And that's what first got me into the 100-mile-a-week high mileage game. And I remember last year when I was reading a lot of the Lydiard, the chickens are back just absolutely tearing up the mulch over there. But last year when I was reading a lot of the Lydiard, I was grinding out miles in the Nike Vomero 17, locking in. R.I.P. Artie. And if you want a shoe that gets you into that mileage grinding mindset, lower to the ground, but still comfortable and cushioned, Nike Vomero 17, this is one of the best workhorses, definitely top 5 workhorses of the 2020s. What is a workhorse? A workhorse is a shoe where you put it on and all you want to say is mileage. All you want to do is run. All you want to think about is getting it in daily. That's the Vomero 17. This is a daily banger. This is not going to be pampering your feet with comfort, but it still does have that soft cushion layer of ZoomX on the top. It's got a nice outsole and a thick outsole, and that's also what gives the shoe that workhorse character. It's not like a Hoka Mach or a New Balance 1080 with a very soft outsole. It has a hard, crunchy outsole. This is a Cameron Hanes type beat right here. I'm talking quail, rabbit, and duck. I'm talking turtle meat in Alaska type beat. Look at that. Crispy outsole, comfortable layer of foam, but also soft on the top. And then the bottom here, this is Cushlon, which is Nike's best training foam, in my hobby jogger opinion, because it is stable but still comfortable with some pep. The stability version of this is also a great deal, by the way. Nike Zoom Structure 25, you can usually find that for under $100, but this is coming in at $102 right now with Nike's discount code on Nike.com. Maybe you could find it for cheaper. This has popped up for $70, $80 in some places, but that was the cheapest I could find in my cursory searching. You might actually be able to find it at Dick's for cheaper. I don't know if I checked them, but Nike.com does have it for $102. All right, next up here, let's give you a deep discount banger with race foam for $70, hailing from Beantown out to 617. From Titletown, from Championship City, Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 278 grams on the left side and 259 grams on the right side because there was a weight discrepancy because I bought my pair off Amazon. Saucony Tempest OG. This is the OG. This is a legend in the game. You know why it's a legend in the game? Because it mixes the race foam with the training foam in a lightweight package. It's a stability shoe, but it's really just a banger. If you want a shoe that can go slow, if you want a shoe that can go fast, that can feel supportive, if you want a marathon shoe that gives overpronation support and is not super heavy and bulky, like a Kayano or one of those other shoes. Actually, I haven't tried the Kayano, but this is lighter than that, I can tell you that. Saucony Tempest. I like the 1. I like the 2. The 2 is an upper update. That is a more comfortable upper. It's more normal. It's almost like a Vomero upper or a Surge 3 upper, just a more normal upper. But this is still a great shoe. You have the same exact midsole and outsole, so the ride is identical to that upper, to the V2. The only difference with an upper update, really, for me, it's more about lacing up the shoe and the thought of running in the shoe. That's what an upper does to me. It's how do I experience the putting on of the shoe. Uppers, unless it's painful for me, don't influence the ride. If I can get a good fit with the shoe, which most of the time I can because I'll take my time making sure the laces are dialed in, then the upper doesn't change anything. So V2 was an upper update similar to the Supernova Rise. So you can get this for $70 on Sierra. Sierra.com, the outdoor retailer, sister company to Marshall's. You could probably also find it on Amazon for cheap. If you want a new stability shoe with some comfort, I highly recommend this. People might ask, Power Run, or what is this called? Forever Run, the Baby Mag Max versus the Tempest OG. The Baby Mag Max is going to have way better grip. Baby Mag Max, a touch firmer. Baby Mag Max, more workmanlike. More pounding. Tempest, lighter. Tempest, think bounce without power. So the Baby Mag Max, the power shoe. Tempest is more the glide shoe. Which one you want, that's up to you. Alright. Last two here. Let's do the workhorse and then we can close with the Fire Flames Fire Biz banger of all colorway bangers. You're not even going to see this last one coming. You're not going to see it coming. All right. Brooks Glycerin 21, needs no introduction. Stealth Fit, $106. This is not the Stealth Fit. This is the standard fit. This is the Bill Belichick 21. Shout out to Bill Belichick, by the way. So I'm a huge Patriots fan. I grew up in Lowell, Massachusetts. Watched all the Super Bowls, all the playoffs. I haven't watched that much this year just because hobby jogger lifestyle. This is definitely my worst year of football fandom, so I haven't seen the Drake May stuff. But I was bummed when they fired Belichick. Also bummed that he didn't find a job in the NFL. And I hope that, man, I hope this Chapel Hill thing works out, because he just got the head coaching job at UNC. I hope it works out, and then I hope he can come back to the NFL and get the wins record, because he's a legend. But this is the Bill Belichick 21, man. This is the do your job, because it's a job doer. If you want a shoe similar to the Vomero, if you want a shoe that's just going to encourage you to grind miles, that's the Glycerin 21. It's not fancy. You're not going to stand out. No one's going to say, what are those? But no one's also going to say, what are those? Because they know it's a Brooks Glycerin. It's one of the best-selling shoes in the game for a reason. It has the comfort, it has the support, but this foam, DNA Loft V3, is one of the best training foams on the market. It's awesome in the Ghost Max 2. It's awesome in the Adrenaline GTS 24. It's awesome in the Ghost 16. They're keeping it in the Ghost 17. And the Ghost 17 is actually going to be almost identical to what you're getting here, because they're raising the stack height and making it a 10mm drop. So if you're a fan of the Ghost, just get this. The Glycerin 22 is a complete rework, and they're adding the DNA tuned foam, which we've been loving. All of us hobby joggers have been loving in the Glizzy Max. But you can get this version for $106, and it will last for hundreds of miles. Also very comfortable if you're a hospitality worker, a doctor, or a nurse. The Ghost Max is also very comfortable. But Glycerin 21, great marathon training shoe, like the Asics Nova Blast 4. If you want something for marathon training, you're building up to 40, 50 miles a week for the first time, and you just want one shoe to do everything and not worry about a whole rotation, Glycerin will be great. $106. Where was this deal? I do not think it was Running Warehouse. All the links are below. This deal was on Dick's Sporting Goods with the Stealth Fit. So Stealth Fit is a different upper. And look at that. Brooks has two different upper options on the same shoe. And they price them the same. Meanwhile, brands like Adidas and Saucony are updating the Supernova Rise and the Tempest and paying more for the new version. Doesn't make sense, because an upper is just a preference thing, and most uppers work fine. Anyway, last shoe here. You already know what it is. Well, you don't know what it is. The Fire Flames, the Miami Vice. Young, pinky, feeling pink like a glass of strawberry lemonade. Nike Peg Trail 5 Gore-Tex, Fire Flames. This is Nike's best daily trainer that dropped in 2024. It's better than the standard Pegasus. It doesn't have the weird air zoom unit in the forefoot. It feels bouncier. This React X foam is perfectly tuned in here. This outsole is great in the wet, and it's a waterproof upper. The Gore-Tex is a waterproof upper. I did an 18-mile double day in this, and it was awesome. So if you're looking for a new winter daily trainer, Nike Peg Trail 5 Gore-Tex, it is gonna firm up a touch in the cold, but not too bad, especially if you can put some power down into the shoe. And overall, another solid workhorse. It is not as soft as the Vomero, and if I had to pick between these two shoes for dry daily miles, I would go for the Vomero for the soft comfort. But in terms of the new batch of releases, this is great. It also looks better than the Vomero. It looks great. You get the waterproof upper, and I prefer this for casual use over the Vomero. So, how much was it? $90! You can find this for $90 on Nike.com. All the links are below. They have some weird discounting strategy where they price it for, they'll do something like price it for, so MSRP $170, and then they'll cut the price to $130 on the product page, and then they'll say get 25% off more with code MOMENT. I don't know why they do that, because then also sometimes they'll change it and make it $115 and then say get 15% off with code SHENANIGANS. So that's just the way Nike does things. As you know, we never pay full price for Nikes because they always have sales. That's the benefit of these big companies. They make products in numbers, they produce in volume, which in turn means for us consumers, we can get a discount. So those are the 10 best running shoe deals under $110 right now. I got chickens running across the yard. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. These boys been putting in more miles than a lot of you in the comment section.